Okay, we're going to learn how to do planetary production here. We're in a wormhole, class 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the assembly array or, let's see, corporate hangar there. We're going to pull out our command center. Just pull out one, stick it inside your industrial. And there we go. You do not have to warp to the planets. While placing this, you can sit inside the POS bubble, and life is good. So where we're going to build this is on planet 9. So I'm going to go to planets 9, and we're going to view in planet mode. Okay, we don't need this hangar up anymore. Don't even need that up. We just have to have it in our ship's hold in order to make this work. So we're going to find a dark spot here to do this. We don't have the glaring white. There we go. And we're going to place the command center. So we got our scan option here that'll go through the different minerals, but we're not going to do that because this character doesn't currently have the scanning skills. So as you can see, the only option here lit up is command center. I'll get that a little darker there so you can see it. Okay, you can build all these other items, but for right now we have to place a command center first. Since it's in our hold, it'll be right there already. So we can place it, let's say right here. Doesn't really matter. We're not extracting, we are just processing the raw materials up to the bigger items. So in order to do this, let's say we're going to upgrade to level 3 is what we're going to try for right now. And let's see. It starts at basic 1. We're going to go to level 3 just to give you a base idea, see where we're at. I will update it later in the video as the different sizes go so that we can see how to, as we increase our skills, how much more we can produce. So we're going to go upgrade 3 for right now. If you're level 4 or 5, that's where you'll have to change it accordingly. But yeah, if you're at that level, don't upgrade it yet until you get to where you want to be in the video. But just for now, we're going to go to 3. That's going to cost us 1.5 million ISK just to place this and upgrade. Okay, you can also see that right there. And before we can build anything else, we have to hit submit. And it will only allow you to hit submit every once in a while. And of course, I do not have the prerequisite of 1.5 mil ISK, so I'm going to pause this momentarily. Okay, now that we got the ISK transferred over, we can now hit submit. Okay, we're now going to place our spaceport, our ice launch pad. It doesn't matter the difference between the distance of the command center and the launch pad, but we're going to place it over here so the command center does not interrupt the build area of the launch pad. And then around that, we're not going to hit submit yet because you don't want to hit submit too often, otherwise the Eve server kind of gives you feedback, gotta wait so long before you can hit it again. Also, if you hit submit, that immediately takes the ISK out, and if you make a mistake, you've already paid that ISK, whereas you can cancel otherwise. Okay, we're going to put a couple processors on here now. Basic processors, we need 4 of them per launch pad. So we're going to make them as close as possible so we can keep our links as short as possible. The reason why we have 4 is because we have one process, one basic process, because we're taking it from the raw materials that are extracted from the planet by another character. This is just production here. It's going to take 2 basic processes to make 1 advanced process. Okay. And we are going to put that in there if we can get that. Okay, so we have our 2 advanced processes up here and our 4 basics down here. Now we're going to link them to the launch pad. Do that by holding down Control. and clicking on what you want to link. So control, that brings up a link. Link it to anything we want, but we only want to link it to the launch pad. Okay, so we just clicked on the launch pad and now it's turned yellow. That shows that we have a link there. And do that to every single one. And we can do it from the launch pad back the other way also. Doesn't really matter. Okay, for the purpose of this, we're technically going to be making high-tech transmitters, but it can be switched over to data chips, neocoms, a few others. Any one that has two prerequisite, yeah, hard to explain. But so what we're going to do is we have the basis here to make the transmitter. That's what we're going to make this one. You click on it or you can double click on it. And we're going to make that into a transmitter. You can just click on it and then hit the letter T, and then it'll drop you down the menu so you don't have to scroll. We're going to go make that a transmitter. You can see that it has plasma and chiral structures for the inputs. Hit install, and see how it is not routed, which means after it makes it, it's got nowhere to put it except for thin air. So we're going to double click on that. And then we're going to double click on the launch pad. That means it will now route there. You can go back and double check this by clicking on the routes. See how it's routed. Okay, it is going somewhere. For the other one, the other advanced industry facility, we are going to make polyamides. Yeah. So I can't say what it is. I don't know. One of the things. And again, not routed. Just going to double click where we want it, and double check the route. It is routed. Okay, so if we go back to transmitters, we need the chiral structures and the plasmoids. So we're going to make this one. Notice it's a different list here. Chiral structures, we're going to route it the same way, and it will only route if there is a link there. So this one should be plasmoids. Click there, click anywhere just once, and then hit your P. Takes straight down the list of plasmoids. Make sure you double click and route, otherwise you're going to find out later you're missing a step and it doesn't flow as smoothly. So we're going to look at the other one here. Polymerides, whatever. You can see here oxidizing compound and industrial fibers. So we're going to go to oxidizing compounds, double click, double click, double click, and industrial fibers. And there we go. And you might want to double check some of these, make sure they are routed. I'm pretty sure they all are, so I'm not going to go through them all. Okay, so we have process 1, process 2, and we are going to make a process 3, which process 3 is still under the advanced category. And we're going to place that right up there. I already know how I'm building this, and I'm building it in such a way that it will minimize our link distances, giving us the better outcome. If you can spread them out, but it will take away from your power grid and your CPU usage based on the links. You can see that there. CPU usage and power usage. Okay, that will give us all these processes. This goes every 30 minutes, as you can see here. Every 30 minutes it puts out one load, 20 units. All the basic ones have a 30-minute timer. All the rest have a 1-hour timer, as you can see there. Which means one of these will put out enough to feed that one every hour. Unfortunately, every hour these only put out half of what is needed to fill the next level. So the next level, since we're doing high-tech transmitters, again, this is an advanced industry facility. High-tech transmitter, double click, not routed, we're going to put it there. We also need the other side of this high-tech transmitter. So we're going to build this same thing, but we're going to put it off to the side. And I'm going to put it off to the side because later on, as we level up our command center here, we're going to add on to it. That way we don't have to redesign everything so it fits better. I'm just going to go off the best fit that I have. So we're just going to continue around with the advanced. We're going to put 2 more. And right there. And right there. Oh, if I can find a spot for it. You can tell it's going to fit if it goes blank there. And just kind of swinging that around. We're going to need a launch pad next. And we're also going to need 4 more basic processors. Okay, now we're going to link up all the different items here. And we're going to send a link from that one, the central item. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, with different planets you have different power grid usages. And ice isn't exactly the best planet for power grid usages or building on. It was just the only planet I had free. But if you were on a barren, you would have enough power grid to make a link from there to there. But since we don't, we're just going to continue on. So on this one, we're going to go with polymyrids. Oh, wait, hold on. We're just going to duplicate the process that is over here. So polymyrids again. Not routed, and make sure you route it to the right one, otherwise it's going to have issues. And transmitters. Everything needs to be routed. Transmitter side, plasmoids and chiral structures. Chiral structures right there. Double click, plasmoids. Notice I haven't hit the submit button once. That actually speeds things a lot. You're not waiting, and nothing's permanent yet. You can see everything you've spent except for the initial set down of the command center and the upgrade, if we have had the upgrade installed, which I think we did. The other side, industrial fibers. Click, and oxidizing compounds. Okay, the reason why we duplicated this is because in 1 hour, this one here is only going to fill up half of that. So if we have 2 of the advanced, it will fill up the high-tech every hour on the hour. Then we got 2 transmitters to make the high-tech transmitter. Okay, so this is balanced out so that everything flows. Every hour on the hour, everything is filled and will produce optimal ISK. As you can see from the power grid there, after edits, should come out really close to using every little bit. This is with Command Center 3, and that only takes a couple hours. Actually, the actual skill is Command Center's 2, which gives you the ability to make Command Center 3. Now that we have everything built, we hit submit. And since it's all submitted, it's all a darker color now. And all we have left to do is to fill these launch pads with the appropriate materials that we're going to get from the hangar. If you double click on the launch pad, it'll bring up the customs office, which are sitting outside the planets. And you take the appropriate minerals to fill, like the chiral structures here. You'll have to put non-CS crystals into the customs office there. And then you're just going to drag it from here over to your launch pad. And make sure you get the right launch pad. There are 2 of them. Usually if you double click on it, it'll take you to the right one, or you can open it up and you can tell right there the name of the launch pad. Just drop the appropriate materials there into the launch pad, and then we're going to route them. That'll be the next part. Okay, I have a basic little industry with a small cargo hold because I don't have the skills for the expanders on this alt, but I have moved over the materials I need for my planet. 120,000 each to fill up 4,800 space. And we're just going to take that over to the, whichever planet, planet 9 there. We're going to open up our science and industry. See, planet 9 is on the list. Right click, go down to customs office, warp to within 0. Usually you hit the scanner first, make sure there aren't any hostiles in the area that you can see. We're going to remove planets from overview. Scan again. No other ships. These were the base materials for everything we had in the planet. This is about the only time, unless you're going to or going to collect. Anything else you do in the planet is not necessarily needed. You can transfer stuff from the command center to the planet, but you have to be in that solar system to do it. Otherwise, you can mine or you can change the schematics. Let's see, since we're here, access customs office. And we're just going to move everything over. Boom, just like a fancy little cargo can in space. Okay, we know we're going to use all of these in both of our launch pads, so we're just going to hold shift, drag it over, and we're going to move 60,000. 60,000. Oops. It would help if I did that right. 60. 60. 60. And we're going to transfer that. And transfer the rest over. Notice how we've only filled 2,000 of the space. You could probably put about 2,500, or what is that, 250,000 units each, because there's 4 of them split from 10,000 space. And as soon as we get that over, we're going to run back to the corporate hangar. Transfer, otherwise it won't go down. Okay. If we sit out here and we do all our planet stuff, yeah, more than likely we're going to get blown up. So you really don't want to spend more than 2 seconds sitting here, or any longer than absolutely possible. Okay, we're going to warp back to the hangar. So we're going to open up planet mode by double clicking. And back in planet mode. Okay. Back in planet mode, we now have to route the individual items to the correct locations. Let's see if we remember where everything's at. Basically, you double click on the item and it's going to go to whatever is attached to it. You can click here, but not over here unless you have a link over there. If I remember correctly, it's there. You can tell if it went to the right one by the outer ring turning a lighter yellow. Let's see, the other one was this straight from memory, but you can double check and see what it was that went there. So reactive gas, we open up the launch pad, single click, open the storage here. Let's see, that one was reactive. I don't remember. Yep, we were right. And auto troughs. Okay, basically what we did was we told the stuff to go from the launch pad to its designated process. We can do that over here also. That way we get the exact same timing. Auto troughs, reactive. CS. Nope, not that one. That one. Okay, plasma must go to the next one. And we hit submit. And in 30 minutes we'll have to come back after these give out their product. And then we're going to have to do the same thing to route those items, which will show back up to where we routed them inside the launch pad. And tell them to go to the next step, to feed into those ends there. And for the final process, the first day is going to be a little strange. Only every other hour are we going to be able to do this, but tomorrow we should be able to feed the rest of the materials that came out from over here. They'll show up in the hangar on this side here of the launch pad, and we can put them up in the customs office, switch launch pads, bring it back over, and tell it to go into the third production process. And with this minimal setup, it should net you around 2 million per 24 hours. So if you got 4 planets, which should only take you a couple days to train up, 4 planets at 2 million per day, that's 8 million per day. And after the initial setup, which might take you a half hour, 45 minutes, your whole day running 4 planets probably only take you a half hour, if that. Well, I guess there you go.